And what is up, guys? Ange from the Denmen here, and Bungie has planned out the next 3 years of Destiny, but what happens after that? We don't know if it means the end of the support for Destiny or the beginning of something new. With that being said, it is fun to look into what could be the future of Destiny and what locations I would like to see in Destiny 2. I just want to say it before we start that this is what I would want to see and not what is going to happen. So, without further ado, let us jump right into it with the first location I would want to see come to Destiny 2. Coming in at our number 5 spot, we have the peaceful Lightbearers that Lady Ephrody herself joined. What makes this group so interesting is that they use the light in ways that promote non-violence. We don't know their exact location as of Beyond Light, but maybe one day they are attacked and need help from the Guardians of the City. It would definitely be an interesting refuge to explore, possibly with a new social space. Just to learn more about them could have a lot of fun, potential major storylines. If this ever came to a focal point, it would likely shed some more light on Lady Ephrody and her time there. It could tie in with a lot of storylines, and the end of it might see us join them and protect the galaxy at a larger scale. Who knows what other major Guardian characters we could find other than Ephrody at this refuge. They can take it in a lot of different ways, and I would be excited to see what they do if they ever bring it into the game. At my number 4 spot, we have the Awoken birthplace, the Distributary. Time in the Distributary travels faster than in our universe, and that itself is a very interesting idea. We'll get to that in a minute, but first let me explain what the Distributary is. In the Awoken homeworld, the Awoken there are basically immortal, and that would be a negative for the location, but it could be a social space. I'm not saying that it can't happen, because Bungie can definitely change how immortality works in the Distributary. The Awoken have called on us for help a lot of times, and they could do it again, but I think there is an even better storyline here. Since time moves faster within the Distributary, we could see something that involves the last city being attacked by an overwhelming force, and we call on the Awoken for help. Zavala sends the Guardian to ask the Awoken for help, and we end up in the Distributary. With time moving faster there, we can come up with a plan to defend the last city, but the Awoken also have their problems, so we would have to help them before we can call on them for aid. The problem could be an Awoken civil war that has been in the lore, and we could have to find a way to end the conflict. This would be a very interesting story and could have us have a more two-part storyline with one in the Distributary and the other saving the last city, and me personally would love to go back to learning more about the Awoken. With that being said, I think this is not a likely location because we already have the Dreaming City, and to travel to the Distributary would be very difficult. But Bungie could definitely find a way for us to go there somehow. Let's keep it going with our number 3 spot. We have the planet formerly known as Torobatl. The Cabal homeworld will be a very fun place to travel and see how it would be very different than anything we have ever seen. The landscape alone will look beautiful and a sight everyone would want to see. I would imagine it being almost like the Leviathan, just on a much larger scale. Think of the sheer majesty that would be involved, and in my opinion, the Leviathan look to it would give one of the best in the game. As a destination, I would want to see a massive city that is similar to the Leviathan in architecture, and it would be very unique because we have never had a location that would have us fighting within the streets of a city. The verticality here would be unmatched, with us jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and the sheer majesty of it would be amazing. A very possible storyline would involve us taking down the Imperial Princess of the Cabal, who happens to be Callus's daughter. Keitel was involved with the midnight coup that saw Emperor Callus thrown into the Leviathan. I really like the idea of sieging Torobatl because we could see what we did on the moon and on a scale much larger. Since it is the Cabal homeworld, we would see plenty of force and a massive invasion would be needed. I think the raid for a place like this is already set up too, with us having to defeat Keitel in battle. It would no doubt also bring the addition of Callus back, with him wanting to take back his throne, so I really see a good story that Bungie could follow. If they could find a way to have us go beyond our galaxy and to Torobato, I think everyone would agree with me that this would be a great destination. Moving on to our number 2 spot, we have the plane of existence where the Nine reside. If Bungie wanted to go for a more trippy vibe to a location, then look no further than the Nine's realm. Imagine what we got in Prophecy and put that on a much larger scale. It would look so different than anything we have ever seen and be a slam dunk for a destination. They can do a lot here because Bungie could even make it interchangeable. The fact that you may never experience the same location twice is an interesting one and one that I would like to see. We know very little of the Nine, and a whole destination that is about them, we would definitely learn more. An interesting concept that I would like to see is the Nine being invaded by an overpowering force, maybe even Xivu Arath. This would see diversity within the location with Hive and Taken and possibly even a new faction to face. I would like to see them go all out with the location themselves and see more of what we got from what we know is in the Nine's realm. What we do know of the Nine is heavily overshadowed by what we don't know, and that is why it lands at number 2 on our list. We have seen the Vex and the Exo Stranger use time travel. We have used time travel in a way when we traveled within the Infinite Forest, but what if they expanded it to where we can actually time travel? I think the best storyline they could take it is to if we lost to the darkness, the Exo Stranger would send us back in time to the first collapse or the Golden Age. We could see the Guardians go back and get a weapon from the Golden Age to help us defeat the pyramid ships in the present time. Our Guardian would likely have to construct the weapon and bring it back with us when we return. Just because it was the Golden Age doesn't mean there weren't the races that we see in the present. The Vex were on some planets during this time, and we could definitely see a darkness faction become a more prominent enemy that we could fight. We would likely only see the addition of one planet, and personally, I would like to see the planet of Ganymede be the location, with it having a large Vex presence. It is like Europa in the fact that it is an icy planet, but with the Vex being there for a long period of time, it could be changed in ways like Nessus and the Pyramidion. We could see it being very different from anything we have seen, and we could find exactly what we need to defeat the pyramid ships. I like the idea of using time travel to defeat the darkness because it would mean that we lost, and we would have to change history so that we would beat the pyramid ships back. I think time travel has a lot of potential, and Bungie could really take it any way they want. We could see them take us to a lot of different times in the future, and I can't wait to see what is waiting for us down the line. But that is all for me now, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment any future videos you guys would want to see, and I'll see you all next time.